Have you ever thought about, is tax surplus and state funds the right business for me? Sure, we all get kind of caught up in the whole glamour and excitement of landing these big deals and making a lot of money working from home, working for themselves. But in this video, I want to explain who this business is not for and why you should totally reconsider doing tax surplus and state funds. Let's go. All right, you guys, what's up? My name is Joe Green. I am a tax surplus and state funds coach. I help people launch their businesses and do really well in this business of helping people reclaim their unclaimed property. But I want to make this video to explain to you who should not do this business. There's a reason why there's a lot of people who just don't make it. And I want to explain why before you waste your time getting into the business. Some of you all watching this video, you might already be in the business. And I want to help bring some clarity as to why you might be struggling and how you can either improve or you can switch industries and do something that might be more aligned with your goals and your values. So let's get right to it. One of the biggest problems I see with the people who I coach in my program, when they come in with this false idea that they're going to start making money right away. And that's not how tax surplus and state funds work. Normally, when people come into my coaching program, I let them know if you're in a hurry to make a quick buck, like your rent or your mortgage or your bills is dependent on you to make some money now, this is not the right industry for you. It's a waiting game. Number one, you have to obviously make your calls and get people to agree to work with you. And then you are subject or you're at the mercy of the counties and or state that you're working with to get these funds. This can be a waiting time of a couple weeks to a couple months. Pretty sure I scared a few people already. You're probably thinking like, whoa, I didn't know I had to wait that long, but that's the simple truth. You absolutely have to play the waiting game when it comes to getting these checks. Now, that's the bad news. The bright side to all this is as you're working this business and you're working to generate an income, eventually down your pipeline, the checks will start landing in your account. Check after check after check, which is great. And it will make sense after you've done your time and due diligence working the process. But again, for those people who expect within the first 30 days, they're going to see this great massive bank account. They work really, really hard. Well, think about it like this. You work really hard for this month to do well the following month or the month after. I always tell people, give yourself anywhere from 45 to 60 days before you expect a check coming your direction. The cool thing is that I like about state funds and tax surplus is most states, most counties within the states will send the check directly to you. You get your cut and then you send it to your client. There are a few that might send it directly to the client and then you got to wait for the client to deposit a check and send you your percentage. And again, that just kind of is an extra obstacle that you got to wait for. Here's another reason why someone might not do well in the tax surplus, state funds, and mortgages niches. One thing is making phone calls. If you come in with the mindset, I'm going to make cold calls, and you don't enjoy being on the telephone with people, this is not a good industry for you. Number one, the people who I coach, we never do cold calls. We do a process which is called smart calling. Cold calling is a term that I think that these gurus and people that want to kind of make themselves stand out, and they want to label it cold calling because people who don't understand sales tactics, they just kind of call and they scare people off. They come off really scammy. They come off kind of really just kind of pushy, and the other person on the other end wants to hang up the phone immediately. So you don't want to be a cold caller, and you don't want to think I'm cold calling people. You are smart calling people. You're calling people and with some little bit of knowledge of the individual to make them feel comfortable to stay on the phone call. If you come on to these phone calls thinking, if I get enough no's, I'll eventually get a yes. That's not the mindset you want to have. You want to go for the yes every single phone call. You don't want to waste your time in the day hoping that someone will eventually have a conversation with you. You want to go for the yes 100% of the time. And this is what I coach people who come into my Dream Builders program. I explain to them how to talk to humans, not just read off a script, which is necessary, but you don't want to just sound like a robot on the other line, because think about how you would feel if someone's reading off a script to you. How inviting would you be to that individual calling you on the phone, talking about money and asking for your business? You probably wouldn't be so open armed for them to come on in and do business with you. There's a few small percentage that might, but most people won't. So again, if you don't like being on the phone, this might not be a great business for you to actually start on your own. Lastly, this is not a good business for someone who does not want to be an actual business entity. Meaning, if you think you're just gonna learn the process, watch a few training videos from a course that you probably purchased online, and you think you're just gonna start making phone calls, you have started wrong from the very get-go. Do not start a business like this and not be an established business. That's the first stage that people come into my coaching program that I teach them. I let them know we have to create your business entity first. You want to be professional. You want to have credibility and start building that reputation by making a phone call and having an actual like professional website built out, having a professional business name, professional email address, and all these things. You know, when I coach them, when I let them know, when you come to my program, it's plug and play. We build all these things out for you because we want you to be able to get in and get to business. But if you think you're going to do a business like this and not actually have the credibility of being an actual business, trust and believe me when I say this, you are going to pay for it down the line. You know, because you have to be able to, if you're conducting business, you have to have a business license in most cities. Most states require you to be registered with the Secretary of State, you know, being a legitimate business. When you file your taxes, once again, if you don't want to be taxed on one of the higher ends of the bracket and you want to really bring down how much taxes you owe at the end of the year, you want to be an actual legitimate business. Okay, and there's so many benefits, and in another video at another time, I'll be sure to make a video on why I absolutely love having a business in the tax surplus state funds industry, because I get over 400 more tax write-offs than the average W-2 employee. So there's so many advantages to it. And I just want to make sure that you guys are completely clear on who shouldn't do this business and who this might be good for. Now, I want to wrap this up on a positive note because I already broke down who should stay away from this business. Now, I want to talk about the people who can do really well in this business. An individual that understands that businesses take time to be built, right? Like I said earlier, you're probably going to be working hard this month to get the benefits in the next 45 to 60 days. And once you start making money, trust me and believe when I say this, you're going to make more money in certain months than you probably had in certain years if you work this process right. The next thing I want you guys to understand is that people who actually want to help other people, if you're passionate and you're excited and you're going for that individual that's really down and out on their luck, and you know that you're not just trying to collect a paycheck, you're actually trying to help people, this is the program for you. This is going to really elevate your purpose. It's going to make you feel great about what you do day to day. And I highly encourage people with that kind of mindset to get into a business like this. And then lastly, understanding that this is an actual business. This is not an MLM, nothing against those, by the way. This is not a W-2 job where you have a boss telling you what to do, how to work, and how hard to work. This is your business. You're just as legit as the Starbucks down the street or the Target down the road. You are an actual business and you need to look and treat yourself as such. And I promise you, when you start looking at yourself as being a legitimate business, you're going to get all the professional structures that you need to build up. You're going to have all the professional emails and phone numbers and business cards. You're going to have everything put together exactly the way you want it. And you're going to feel really good about it because you put the time and effort to be a legit business. And lastly, as a bonus, the one thing that's awesome that I always surprise my students with is how many business grants and how much business funding you can get just by simply registering with the IRS and your Secretary of State, becoming a legitimate business entity. You can immediately get business funding right off the top. I usually tell people if you're not getting your first 10K in your first 30 days, you're doing it wrong. You absolutely want to start applying for grants, lines of credit, business credit, whatever you need, to get your business started, because this funding right here is going to take care of all the little nuances that you got to pay for becoming a new business entity. Now, everything in your life is going to become a tax write-off. Some of your grocery bills because you're working from home, some of your energy bills, some of the mortgage you're renting to your business for you working at home, part of your cell phone bill. So now, instead of using your personal credit card for all these expenses, you're now using your business card for these expenses. So anyways, do me a favor. If you like this video and it brought you a lot of value and you got any questions, in the comments below, please drop a comment and let me know and I'll be sure to answer you. If you're trying to find some business funding to get your business going, drop a comment down below and I'll be sure to answer you on some of the places that I look to get grants and funding for my businesses. And also, if you like it, please like and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to grow it and make sure I give as much information about this industry as much as possible. In the description below, I also made a free video that you can go if you have no idea how to do a tax surplus business. The link below right there, you can watch a free video. It's only 10 minutes, but I show you exactly how I work my process to actually find my leads and how I actually make my deals. All right, made it for you guys. I hope you enjoy it. I will see you guys in later videos. Later.